So hi, let's start to learn some basic about the Robot Studio. So I have here the Robot Studio starting file, and generally what I do was, and I will suggest to do is start with the solution with station and virtual controller. So what does it do is it provides both the robot itself and also the controller. So another thing that I wants to explain about is there are many versions of robotware. So the latest one as of now was 6.10.02. So if I select this one, so it says that the robotware version is newer and it might cause some problems. So I suggest you to have a little less newer version. And for me, my the robot that we're gonna use is IRB 1600 10 kg 1.45, not that one. IRB 1600 10 kg and 1.45. And when I select the model, it has the controller name in here, so that's what I need, and I do the create. So we have a Robot Studio here. Let me just make it bigger, and as you see in here, this is the controller. It says starting. So when the controller is ready to use, it says here, yeah, there will be a green color in the controller status. So we have a robot and the controller is also started. And so let's see the basic function. So here we have a ABB library from where you can select various kind of like equipments, robot itself, and conveyor belts and other things. And also we have import library and equipment. So in here you can actually select the to make the more real environment with the controller and any other like stands, flex pendant, any other things. But what I will do is I will just going to select this smart gripper, and you can have the way you want. Like servo means this one, the main body, and servo and fingers means this has the fingers, and you can select the other things also is according to your project. So I will select for now the servo finger. I do say the OK. So in the left we can see that this is one is the robot, and this here is the servo. It is hide below. To move the model in the Robot Studio, I just do the scrolling, nothing more. Just when you do the scrolling, you can do the zoom in and out. So if you want to rotate the robot, so you have to press Ctrl Shift at the same time in the left click, then you can rotate the Robot Studio model. And in the left here, this one is the axis. So three color, they give the three color. And for example in here, if you see, so here, the blue axis in the up, and here you can compare the axis. So the blue axis in this side, and it will become handy and later use. And we have a virtual controller. That means you can add some other new controller also with the robot or without the robot. But without the robot, the controller is unuseful. And here we have input geometry. So I will talk about this in next tutorial. So we also have the frame, create frames, and that might be also another new tutorial. We have a modeling here. So you can make some basic models in here, but I recommended to make model in some other 3D maker versions like SketchUp or Rhino or SolidWorks and other and then import the models in the Robot Studio. That will be more useful. But if you need some basic elements, then you can make it right now in here, like it's a box and cone, cylinder, pyramid, sphere, and also you can make some surface in here. We have a curve, so you can make one dimension, two-dimensional, like curve, polylines, etc. And this is very useful if you are making the path. And actually we don't do like that, but the robot will itself make a path, but sometimes you need a designated path, then you can have those kind of lines. And we have some other things in here that we will use time by time. So the one thing that I will explain is here. So this one is for move. So when you select this, and let's say let's not move the robot, because when you move the robot and if you forget to like let's just see what happens. So if I move the robot, then it says, do you also want to move the task frame? And if I say no by mistake, then in the later when you are making the path or when you are doing some animation stuff, then you cannot precisely pick up from the designated places. So either you say yes or do not move the robot at all, just move the other body, so that you don't have to worry about that. Or if you want to move the robot, then you have to move the task frame also. So I said yes, but I will just gonna do the Control Z. So another for now, let's use for this one. So I move the gripper. So another in here is the rotate. So if I want to rotate this one, it says you want to rotate from here. So it's because there is a world. So if I select local, then you can rotate it around here. And we have other options which we rarely use, as I know. So another thing that I will explain is drag. So you can drag some objects in from here, and the another one is jog joint. So that means you can easily jog the joints the way you want to make the robot where you want. So for the each axis, you can have the two, either vertical or another axis is the robot really move. So let's not make it too complicated, but okay, so you know the drill. So another one is jog linear, and another one is jog resonant, and we have a multi-robot jog. Okay, so it needs two or more than one robot. So now let's connect this gripper with the robot. So to do that, I will just to right click and here attach to, and select the robot. And do you want to update the position of smart gripper? Yes. So we have our gripper in here, and if you select this one, then you can actually do stuff with the way you want, how much you want, right? Okay, and also you can open the gripper or close. So this is it with the modeling, and we have a simulation, so you can record the simulation from here. And this is for the play the simulations that will be explained again and again after with other work. And we have a controller here, and we have a rapid. So rapid means that is directly connected with the program. So when you started to really make some points, then you will have rapid. So here at the main module main, so this is the programming place, which we can do by the flex pendant or by using the rapid. So for now there is nothing here. We have a place to start our programming in here. This is the entry point of your program. So we don't have anything 8 in here, so there is nothing. So here at the 8 scene you can add different plugins or the robotware, like insert package. Like if you want to add the robotware, which robotware you want, and if you want other stuff that you want download, then you can easily download from here. So we have a lot of here, and let's go to the home. So usually what I do is right click and disconnect library, and this one also disconnect library. So now all the things that I do is in the computer rather than connected with the library. So I control save. And the one thing that we need to remember is it says here solution 6. So basically the controller and the other models need to be saved on the same drive, same folder, and you cannot change the name. So what I suggest is, if you want to change your names in designated places, you have to do on the beforehand. If you forget and suddenly edit the name, that gonna be very messy. Now let's make a box. So to make the box modeling, here we can make a box. So the corner point is, it says we can either write here the x value, y value, and z value, or if we know where to put the box, then we can just select it after here. And if I select here, then it already automatically put the designated place in there. So our length of the box, let's make a brick. So it's gonna be a 220, and width will gonna be 110 and 65, and we say create. So we have a brick here, and we can edit our name by here, like rename and brick space 1. So this will gonna be a brick 1. And after this let's just move with one path for this tutorial, and later we will gonna use the pick and place, right? And another thing is, in the robot studio you can pick the real object is to make the animation, but if you are using the real robot and you need the animation, you need the workflow, then you really don't need to pick the objects in the animations. Rather than using the gripper and input output device is more important, as I know. So if you want to make the starting points in here, okay, so in here in home, if I do the teach target, then there will be a new target in here. So how can we see is, so I'm gonna close this. In path, so this is our robot. So in here, this is the targets, and this is when I click in here, as you can see, this will be highlighted. So target 10 will be this one. So I will just rename it as home. So this is home. And if we want to make another target in here, so either we will jog it like this and rotate it, do this kind of stuff and make a target which is okay, but the problem is you don't know, you cannot exactly make it like vertically 90-degree when with the grippers when it picking up target. So I will not recommended that. So if you feel like you messed up with this all the jogging, then you just click your home button and in here view the robotic target. So what does it may do is it take all the robot in the same positions when it was in the target. So what I will suggest for the making the destination point target points is, so I say target, so here I need to make a target and I will snap object. So this will help me to take a point on the block and the position of the target. So I will click here, close and close. So this is the target that we make above the brick where the robot will come to pick the brick. And so how do we want this robot to pick our brick? So let's just see what maybe like this, but since the gripper is this way, it cannot pick the whole brick like this. So we can assume that the gripper can be like this when it pick the brick. So one thing that I do is this target and go to the home, the robot will be there. So the axis should be like this, the green this side and the blue this side and the red this side. So this we can do after making many targets, or if there is not much, then we can do at the first stage. So this is our target, and if we do right click and modify target, rotate, and so local means this from this point, so it's okay, and rotation around X and Y and Z, so I don't need that. So what I do is here I will use 90-degree and axis Z and apply, see what will happen. Okay, so the y-axis is okay since y-axis is green, but the red axis and z-axis are not. So I will put y-axis and apply. So now every axis is same from this one, and I will say close. So as you see, the robot will pick the brick like this, and like this we can add many targets and the way we want, or there are other options also which I will explain in later and other tutorial.